You are watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman. Victoria County, a quick reminder for residents, the Victoria County Commissioner Court will hold its regular meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. The meeting will take place at 115 N Bridge Street, room 241. On the agenda, commissioners will discuss railroad crossing road closures, Levi Road, and a proposed permanent road closure within Victoria County. With nearly 2 months remaining until the May election, there are several important dates to keep track of. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting joins us now for a reminder. Trenton.
Thanks, Amaya. Those who want to vote have a little less than a month to make sure that they can. The deadline to register to vote is April 3rd. Early voting begins on April 22nd, which is also the last day to apply for ballot by mail. Bloomington is having an incorporation election to become a city in Victoria County. Bernadette Walker is running to become the first mayor of Bloomington, and Sarah Stint and Ernest Longoria are running for commissioner seats 1 and 2. The city of Seadrift is holding an election for mayor and city council. Lori Stafford Thomas runs unopposed for mayor, while Kenneth Reese, Richard Battles, Tracy Johnson, Tanya Cunningham, Randall Kane, and Christy Kosser are running for 3 vacant city council positions. The city of Victoria is holding a mayoral election between incumbent Dwayne Crocker and repeat challenger Jacob Sauceda. Again, early voting begins April 22nd and ends April 29th. Election day is May 3rd. Amaya, back to you.
Thank you, Trenton. Now, what race or issues is bringing you to the polls on May 3rd? And this is our viewer poll for today. Mayor race, city council race, Bloomington incorporation election, tax venue election, and I'm not voting on May 3rd. And so far at 66%, that's in the lead, is the tax revenue election. Well, you still have time to participate in our viewer poll. Just visit our website at crossroadstoday.com/vote, and we will have the latest here at 10. Now let's go to Trey Mining with a first look at our forecast. Trey, how will our week be looking like?
Rather dry, sunny skies though, low humidity and high temperatures. It was nice and cool today, but don't let that fool you because the high temperatures will be coming up rather rapidly coming up in the latter half of the week, middle part of the week as well. Nice and sunny on the outside, a little bit of gusty winds out there. Current temperature, if it comes up here, let's see if we get this thing going. Come on now. Well, trust me, it's in the 60s. Take my word on that. Well, a little bit of gusty winds out there. We're getting to calm down a little bit. Could we reach 90 degrees sometime this week? Could be the case. We'll give the details coming up later on in the full forecast. Amaya?
Thank you, Trey. Now, U.S. Secret Service personnel were involved in a shooting near the White House earlier this morning following an encounter with an armed person of interest. According to a statement from the Secret Service, local police shared information about a potential suicidal individual who may be traveling to Washington, D.C. from Indiana. 2 sources have confirmed to NBC News that the suspect has been identified as 27-year-old Andrew Dawson from North Manchester, Indiana. Around midnight, members of the Secret Service located Dawson's parked car and then saw Dawson walking down the sidewalk. After making contact, he reportedly displayed a firearm, leading to an exchange of gunfire. The suspect was hit and transported to an area hospital. Dawson's condition is unknown at this time. No Secret Service personnel were injured. The D.C. Police Department will lead the investigation into the shooting. Now to the battle against wildfires that went intense on New York's Long Island. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
This morning, firefighters on New York's Long Island battling a dangerous outbreak of brush fires, at least 4 raging along the Sunrise Highway.
Holy
Cars driving past thick smoke, flames erupting on the side of the road, at least 1 firefighter injured.
A second-degree burn on the face of one of our firefighters. I hope that's extended.
And so far, at least 2 structures damaged.
I have a building on fire now.
Multiple roads forced to close, including the main highway that leads to the Hamptons. Massive plumes of smoke visible for miles. New York Governor Kathy Hochul declaring a state of emergency.
We always have to be prepared for the worst.
The National Guard providing air support with helicopters doing water drops. Dozens of fire departments responding, battling the flames up close. The combination of low humidity and strong wind gusts fanning the flames. The National Weather Service issuing an elevated fire risk.
Pope Francis is reportedly responding well to treatments for double pneumonia, showing gradual improvement after more than 3 weeks in the hospital. The Vatican says the 88-year-old pontiff rested well overnight and remains stable with no fever and good oxygen levels. However, for the 4th Sunday in a row, he won't deliver his weekly noon blessing, though the Vatican will distribute his prepared message. The Pope, who has chronic lung issues, continued to recover under close medical care. Now to the shocking scene caught on camera at a CarMax dealership outside Los Angeles. A driver plowing through the doors, mowing down customers and employees.
Chaos inside this California CarMax caught on camera. Watch as the driver plows his car into the store in Inglewood near Los Angeles, driving through the store and out the back Saturday afternoon, injuring at least 8 people, both customers and employees. 2 of those injuries critical, according to the LA County Fire Department. Inside, the store left in disarray, overturned desks and chairs, broken glass everywhere. CarMax saying the driver was a customer who had been having his car appraised. Witnesses telling our station KBC the customer apparently did not like the offer. He allegedly got back into his parked car and after a couple attempts reversed right through the front door.
Broke the frame, glass, and everybody went everywhere. Everybody started freaking out.
The driver later arrested by police. CarMax saying the safety of our employees, community, and customers is our top priority. We are deeply saddened by this event, and our hearts go out to everyone impacted.
Now, today marks the commemoration of the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama, the day that police attacked hundreds of civil rights demonstrators who took part in a peaceful march. Hundreds of people, as well as state and national leaders, made the pilgrimage today despite bad weather, all marching across the iconic Edmund Pettus Bridge, the site where demonstrators were beaten by officers as they tried to march across Alabama in support of voting rights. Today, march is among dozens of events during the annual Selma Bridge Crossing Jubilee, which begins Thursday.
It was a very, very moving experience for me. This whole experience has been really, really inspiring to be around so many people who made so many sacrifices.
Many of the marchers says that today is an opportunity to reflect and move forward. Texas lawmakers have once more vowed to provide tax relief to property owners, and the House and Senate have so far agreed to spend at least $6 billion in state funds to do so. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website at crossroadstoday.com. For more on today's news story, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain and Parker Cox will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them. Now, women around the world united, marking International Women's Day with powerful demonstrations. Coming up.
It's nice, cool, and sunny, 65 degrees on the outside, humidity quite low, 37%. Don't get used to, well, get used to this, but don't get used to this right here. This temperature will be going up rather rapidly. We'll talk about that coming up in your forecast.
Welcome back. Women across the world took part in a demonstration marking International Women's Day on Saturday. On this day, women around the world united in their calls for equal pay, reproductive rights, education, and justice. In the U.S., rallies are taking place across multiple states, while globally, International Women's Day is marked in various ways, officially recognized by the UN in 1977. It's an official holiday in over 20 countries, including Afghanistan, Ukraine, and Cuba, the only one in the Americas. The Trump administration is enlisting new leadership at the Department of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Sunday, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced that Todd Lyons will serve as acting director of ICE. She also said Madison Sheehan will be ICE deputy director. Noem said that Lyons and Sheehan will lead the agency to target, arrest, and deport undocumented immigrants through working with local law enforcement. Noem told CBS that she wants to see the number of deportation increase. The U.S. State Department has ordered non-emergency government personnel to leave South Sudan. The department says the move is due to contain secret security threats. In an update travel advisory on Sunday, the agency re-emphasized that U.S. citizens should not travel to the country. It also maintains its travel advisory level at level 4. That means do not travel. The advisory stated that armed conflict is ongoing in South Sudan, including fighting between various political and ethnic groups. It also provides a stark list of recommendations for those still choosing to go, including drafting a will, discussing the future care of children, and making funeral wishes known. President Trump is threatening steps reciprocal tariffs on Canada lumber and dairy products, which could begin as early as next week. Those possible tariffs rattling the economy and U.S. consumers who are also facing the looming threats of the government shutdown if Congress does not meet a March 14th deadline to fund the government.
U.S. businesses are bracing for the latest tariff threat from the White House. President Trump vowing to impose new tariffs on Canadian lumber and dairy in response to the large tax Canada puts on American dairy and lumber to protect its own industries. This comes after the president imposed 25% tariffs on all goods from Canada and Mexico that went into effect on March 4th. The president then changed direction, offering a 1-month exemption for automakers on Wednesday, followed by a 1-month delay on tariffs for other goods from Mexico and Canada on Thursday. But the president saying the uncertainty is here to stay.
There'll always be some modifications. I mean, if you have a wall in front of you, sometimes you have to go around the wall instead of through it.
House GOP leaders unveiling their stopgap funding bill on Saturday that will fund the government through the end of September. But it will be a challenge to get the bill through both chambers before the March 14th deadline. Top House Democrats issuing a statement Saturday evening saying that they will vote against Speaker Johnson's short-term government funding bill, calling the measure partisan and reckless. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
Experience our digital streaming service Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Winds from the north around the Crossroads region, bringing in that dry air from the north, of course. Still gusty winds out there. It's gusting to 30 to 40 miles per hour, especially along the coast and in the Victoria region. They'll be settling down a little bit. Temperature is going up quite rapidly after our cool day on Sunday. How hot will it be? Will it top 90? Could be. We'll take a look coming up next in your forecast. Good Sunday evening, everyone. Trey Mining here. Take a look at the day today. High 65 degrees, nice and cool today. Don't get used to that. I tell you what, it'll be rocketing up rather quickly in the temperatures. More on that later on. Low this morning, 49 degrees. It'll be cool again tomorrow morning. The temperatures rising quite rapidly. 74 and 53 is our normal high and low. 93 back in 1911 was the record high on this day. We're getting close to that coming up later on this week in a big way. Well, a few clouds in our eastern counties moving toward the east further away as the low pressure area in Louisiana exits to the east as well. We have northerly winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere and also at the surface, giving us dry conditions around here, keeping the sun in place and humidity quite low. So there's still that fire danger coming up for the majority of the week. Temperatures right now across the state, nice and cool out east where the high pressure cell is pretty much located. 46 degrees in Texarkana, 55 degrees in Houston, 65 degrees in Victoria. Notice we go further south and west, the temperatures begin to increase because the moisture levels are beginning to increase as well. More of a southerly wind flow returning coming up for your day tomorrow, and especially in the middle part of the week, give those temperatures quite a bit of an increase coming up. As we go to Texas temperatures right now, it's in pretty 60s area wide. Winds begin to subside a little bit in the overnight tonight. I'm allowing the temperatures to fall a little bit cooler than they were this morning, but there's a little bit of radiation cooling in place. But notice a big return of southerly winds coming up by your day on Monday, bringing in the tropical moisture, helping to raise those temperatures, and getting quite hot toward the middle part of the week. Temperatures starting off 60s currently, in the 50s and maybe some 40s in the overnight tonight. Wouldn't be surprised to see a 48, 49 degree temperature reading for Victoria early tomorrow morning. Maybe even cooler than that coming up by the early morning hours. And then temperatures well up in the 70s, almost near 80 degrees, topping that coming up by the middle part of the week. Run this model all the way through the rest of the time period if we can. Well, try to, but trust me, we'll be well above 90 degrees coming up by Thursday or Friday. And clouds exiting to the east. Front of the Gulf of Mexico brought in the cooler and drier air. High pressure will begin to build in as it currently is doing so, and it'll be hanging around the state most of the week, keeping the rain away, clouds away as well, and the temperatures on the increase. Twirl, starting off with nice and cool, 48 degrees by 9 a.m., well up in the 70s or so, near 80 degrees coming up by the afternoon, 3 o'clock with westerly winds, quite light overall. Puerto Vaca, sunny skies throughout the rest of the day tomorrow, and looking pretty nice, 73 degrees or so by the afternoon hours. And for Victoria, nice and sunny again for our day tomorrow, warmer than it was today, well into the 70s. Take a look at this, yes, no lie. Look at that, 90 degrees, 93 degrees possible by Friday. Tell you what, feeling like summertime around here. And we'll have a front coming through, cool us down a little bit by the weekend. No rain in the forecast, of course, still keeping that on the dry side. Fire danger possibility throughout the week, so no burning on the outside. Please be careful if you have to do that. Wait for a better time to do that as well. Overnight lows in the 50s, 40s, and 60s coming up by the end of the week. So make it a great week, of course. Enjoy the sunshine. Be careful out there. No burning, of course. And be safe. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code. See that right there on your screen. They'll take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, free of charge, of course, to have on your phone to be connected with us. We got some sports over there with Ray Robinson.
Thank you, Trey. The Gulf Coast Invitational wrapped up for the UHV girls softball team. See how they did and more coming up in sports. Well, Crossroads, it seems like the powerlifting scene here is quite big when you're talking about our athletes. And today, we're taking you to Yoakum, where River Bergman has qualified for state in the regional lift meet. River is also the lineman for the Bulldogs, and we've talked to him a few times in our CFL post show. So a big congrats to River and the Yoakum Bulldogs. And the UHV girls softball team were in action this past weekend at the Gulf Coast Invitational. They had 2 matchups yesterday. Their first match, they beat Cumberland's final score 5-0. Audric Sayez had 2 strikeouts. Claire Blinka went 2 for 3. Their second game, which became their last game, was against Middle Georgia State, and it saw them lose. Final score 7-5. Their third matchup, which was against St. Mary, was canceled. The end of the weekend. They end the weekend with one victory out of 4 games played. And we have the highlights and the results from the Big Texas basketball game, which saw the Houston Cougars take on the Baylor Bears. Houston's LJ Cryer made a third triple in this play right here. Houston's 3-point action didn't just end there either, as Milos Uzan sinks another 3. But Baylor did come out to play and make it tough for Houston, as Jaden Nunn smoothly makes his way in the lane for a layup. The Cougars did go on to win this game. Final score 65-61. And staying in Houston and on the hardwood, the Rockets' victory against the New Orleans Pelicans did come with some hardship. One of their young stars, Amen Thompson, rolls his ankle on his way down from a mid-range shot. The defender is seen kind of limiting his landing room. From the looks of it, there was no flagrant foul, as the play did keep on going, as Thompson did stay on the floor for a while. So the injury is very crucial for the Rockets to the ring rotation, because they need some help securing a home court in this postseason. And for some NFL news, Texas A&M alumni Myles Garrett has re-signed with the Cleveland Browns. This is a 4-year extension worth $40 million a year, $123 million guaranteed. This contract now makes Garrett the most paid player that is not a quarterback in NFL history. And the MLB and Astro fans, it looks like you guys are preparing to get ready for some baseball this season. As spring training is underway, and here's the Astros taking on the Marlins. And what better way to see this than Jordan Alvarez warm the season to come by making what seemed to be an easy home run. And there you see him jolting across the field. The Astros did lose this spring game, final score 10-6. And tomorrow they will prepare to face the Blue Jays at noon. And the women's basketball team found themselves in the SEC championship today. The South Carolina has been a juggernaut in this conference these last couple of seasons, so it wasn't going to be a cakewalk for the Longhorns. But the Longhorns wasn't #1 ranked for nothing, as they were only down by 2 at the end of the first quarter. But experience did play a role, as South Carolina wins their 3rd straight SEC women's basketball championship. Final score 64-45. Chloe Kitts was the SEC tournament MVP, and they still look ahead of the NCAA tournament as well as Texas. But that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you so much. Now coming up, we have a familiar sound. People are doing contests and more, and we have more details ahead. Key West, Florida crowned a new winner at the 62nd annual Conch Honk Shell Blowing Contest. Held at the Otis House Museum and Garden, the event attracted over 30 competitors who showcased their skills with the iconic conch shell. Judges evaluated the contest on a sound quality, duration, loudness, and novelty. This year's winner, Jewel Jones, impressed the judge with her performance. The free event presented by the Old Island Restoration Foundation brought locals and visitors together to celebrate the enduring symbol of a Florida Keys. Now that's interesting.
Yeah.
Blowing with a shell. You know, I used to try that when I was a kid, but it never worked out. So I don't know.
Gotta have some good lungs.
Gotta have some good lungs.
Definitely have to have that. Keep trying, Amaya.
I'm gonna keep trying. That was just a SpongeBob imagination to me.
There you go.
So how will that weather be?
We're gonna see sunny skies for us here. We're keeping on the dry side. Fire danger all week, so be careful out there. No outside burning. Look at that, 90 degrees or higher coming up by Thursday, Friday. Yeah, that's true. Hot temperatures headed our way, a little bit cooler by the weekend. So keeping it sunny. Try to stay safe out there.
We're hitting 90 degrees.
Already.
I love it.
Already.
Get to wash my car.
You do, yes. No problems there.
Y'all, I don't know. But thank you for joining us. We hope you be with us for tonight for 25 News Now, weekends at 10. See you.